Hello and welcome to Transformation Now, which is a division of SoaringHigher.rocks. Hi, I'm Rita Rocker Craft, and my goal and heart is to really help people with their personal and their professional lives, communication skills, image, and career development. So today I want to talk to you from my book, which is called Hope at the End of Your Rope, Steps to Rebuild Your Life. And these are steps to help build up your life even more than where you might be at the moment. So lots of good things here, a lot of material to really stop to think about and write in a journal. That would be awesome if you could do that. So it's putting the pieces of life's puzzle together a little bit more. I know right now the world is crazy in so many ways and it's tough, but we have to hang on and continue to put those pieces of the puzzle of our lives together as we go through life. Because a lot of times when we're younger, things kind of go a different direction than that we'd hoped, and sometimes the pieces get a little bit scattered. So I want to talk to you today about some things that should be very, very helpful for you. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now, again, as I've said before, I had a very rough life and went through a lot of abuse and rejection and devastation and financial issues and all kinds of things, and a lot of health issues, a lot of surgeries. But each time it's like, okay, put the piece of puzzle back where it should be in your life and move forward. So we can't stay down. We may get down, but I just really encourage you, we're going to rise again, all of us. And so hang on to that. You know, what are some of the ways that you may have sabotaged a part of your life, or maybe a family member or someone has? I know I always felt like I was worthless and didn't have anything to offer, and that affected my life years later, and something I still deal with in order to really go forward in life. And so, you know, there's unhealthy relationships that can happen. Why do those happen? A lot of times it's out of fear of being alone. Maybe it's for security reasons, to have someone around, even though it's maybe not as beneficial as it should be. So sometimes it's just that we're afraid to step out into unknown territory. And it may be the territory that we were meant to go to, because that's where our new hopes, our new dreams, our new career opportunities and relationships are. So think about that. And you know, sometimes people maybe become a workaholic. What is that about? A lot of times it's because it's a way to escape maybe what's happening at home, or escape what's happening in life. So it's a work that doesn't give us time to actually do the things that maybe we want to, or that would help in ways of our lives that we need to. Maybe we don't feel like we're adequately equipped in a particular skill. But if you have something that's been in your heart most of your life, that's something that God's called you to do, that you would be very good at, and where your heart is. And sometimes a parent or a counselor at school or somebody says, no, this is what you really should do in your life. Well, you need to do what is in your heart, what's never left your mind, and where you know you're good and you're skilled at it, and that's what your heart desire is, where it's not so much work as it is fulfilling that goal, that destiny, that dream in your life. And so sometimes you might not feel like you're adequately equipped, and so we're going to talk about different things you can do to head towards that goal. You know, it's like, well, I don't have the money, I don't have the looks, I don't have the talent, I don't have the education. No, those are all things that we work around. Always. And so, you know, one of the things you can do is ask God to give you favor. He gives you favor that surrounds you like a shield. And so I've asked him many times through life, I need new friends. I need, you know, something as far as a career boost. Open the door, show me what direction to go. And he's very faithful to do that. So I'd really like for you to take the time to think about any actions, events, or behaviors that might have happened that maybe were obstacles that have caused you to not get to where your dream goal is. You know, again, I had a lot of those things to go through and realize, you know, we're God's kids, we're worth great value, everyone. And a lot of times people are struggling with not feeling worthy, but you are, and you're very special, and you all have things that are prepared for you to do, that are meant for you to do. So think about your personal responsibilities and limits as you set your goals. Healthy new boundaries are very, very important. You know, a lot of times we have to set new boundaries of maybe not allowing people to treat us in a particular way, or maybe something even at work, sometimes overload or people there that we need to say no to. And so remember to always set boundaries to keep you in a place where you can grow and you can learn and be treated very, very well like you should be. And so think about how other people treat you, think about your career. And one thing is that we don't accept mediocrity in any form, from ourselves and from other people. So, maybe it's creating a flattering new look or a professional image, stronger communication skills, learning business etiquette skills. So think about the things that would help you, that you really admire in other people. And so you start watching them. Classes in personal professional development. I think it's fun not only to take a class in a technical skill, and a lot of those are free online right now, which is a way that people are going. But then also think of something fun. Even if it's a dance class and you're all by yourself and you go to YouTube and you find it. Because we need fun things in our lives as well as continuing to build up your education. And that might be maybe taking an hour off of TV at night to get on a technical class online, or something very fun, very enjoyable, as well as the ones that you need for work. And so think about that. And then what are you filling your life with on a daily basis? Wow, that's a big one, because sometimes people get stressed, and so it's, well, okay, I'm going to get up, I'm going to eat, I'm going to go to work, and then I'm going to come home, and then I'm going to sit in front of the TV all night. And so what is actually moving you towards your goals and not away from them? And so think about going to a store. Health people say, okay, you should always just shop the outer aisles of the store and never shop down the middle, because the middle is where all the junk food is. And sometimes in life we kind of think of that the same way. Is there mind-numbing things that we're doing in order to keep us from progressing? Sometimes that's TV. That's a lot of maybe drinking, a lot of things that I used to do too, to keep us distracted. And so ask yourself, what am I loading my grocery cart of life with? A lot of things in there, and sometimes we have to start throwing some of those out and going down different aisles. So think about what's in my grocery cart of life right now. What would it help me to do to nourish my life and have it grow in a different direction? Think about your identity first, and it's hanging on to negative past events. Sometimes something that happened when we were 5 years old or a little kid could actually affect us the rest of our lives. And so think of those things that maybe you really need to get rid of, things that were hard, comments you heard from a parent or someone that stuck in your mind. It did with me, and it took a long time to get beyond that. So stop and think about all those things that maybe you want to change the wording on in your mind, and I'll give you a few suggestions in a minute. And think, okay, does this particular relationship or career, whatever the case may be, does that serve any worthwhile purpose for me, for my family, for my career? So if there are things that are taking up too much time in an area that's not good, that's not healthy, that's pulling you away from family, for instance, think about that. What purpose, is it serving a worthwhile purpose in me, my family, my career, or not? And sometimes just sitting down thinking about your days, thinking what you do in your days and your weeks is like, oh my gosh, I can see where this has been causing a problem. Does it help me move forward with my goals, or hold me back in a comfort zone? So many times we're afraid to step out because even though we don't like where we are, we're comfortable because it's familiar to us. But some of the best experiences of life are just taking that leap, moving to a new city, getting a different job, seeking out new, good, faithful friends. So there's all kinds of things that we can think about there. Does it work in my favor in any way? List all the things you do in your life on a daily and weekly basis. And then, does this really work in my favor? Why? Or why not? And then we know kind of the direction, the steps we need to take first. How you answered those questions can actually tell you a lot about what you need to do to get in the fast lane, to swim in the fast lane to your goals and your dreams. So what kind of steps can you take to improve your life? Think about that. You know, some of us don't have many steps we have to take, and then others are a long way because of the things that have happened to us previously in our lives. So begin with small steps moving in the right direction. And again, sit down and just cruise through topics that you like on YouTube and some of the other, there's a new one called Rumble now that's very good. And think, you know what, I would really like to take this. It would make me feel good. It would make me feel stronger. I would be more confident when I'm meeting people because I'm learning networking skills through these particular programs. I've learned new image skills through these particular programs. I've learned how to dance, and I know right now people can't dance, but they will again soon. And you know, even if you don't have a partner and you're all by yourself, you can take dance lessons in front of the laptop and learn some dance lessons, so when you can get back out there again, you're gonna have a blast. And so think of those things, maybe new ways to hostess, things that you can do to be you know, a strong, confident caregiver, things like that. So think about all of those things and have a good time with it. Sometimes it's maybe even going to a department store, seeing what kind of new clothes, or getting tips from some of the people that work there to think, oh yeah, I could do that. That would really be helpful, especially for women. Makeup tips, free ones you can get at some of the department stores like Von Maur and Dillard's and things like that. So think about those things that you can do. And then realize that you no longer have to live in the past or what's happened in your past, but you're going forward. Today is a day of a new beginning. And so we're just, you know, one thought away from a new start. It's depending on what's going on in our minds, what we're thinking about. So what mental tapes are you listening to? You know, quite often, and sometimes almost on a daily basis, we have to pull out some of those mental tapes and go, no, you know, I keep thinking about this, and it's mean things that somebody said to me, or it's something that my school counselor said, things like that, and start thinking of the positive things that have been done and have been said. And a lot of times we have to take those negative thoughts out and just kind of crush them, you know, under your feet. And so that's very important, and go on from there. So if you hear things in your mind like, oh, you'll never amount to anything, or who do you think you are? I remember my brother-in-law years ago had told one of my nephews when he was younger, shut up, you don't have anything to say. Well, that followed him to his adult life too. And so things like that, you can't do that, or nobody's ever going to want you. So, oh yes they are, oh yes they are. I'm lovable, I'm kind, I'm a good person, I'm smart, I have the mind of Christ. That's what I tell myself quite a bit even now. And so think about those things. Are you feeling like a failure? No, you're not. In a financial crisis, and sometimes I say, God, please help me to, you know, run my finances better, to do things better that will serve not only me, but will serve everyone else as well. You know, a lot of times if we are used to negative treatment, our energy will actually draw more of that to us. It's been proven over and over and over again that what we think about, what's on our minds, is actually, that's energy. It's real energy, and that will actually pull in more of the same. So if we go out and maybe we're a little sad or maybe we're a little upset, but we go, no, I'm going to put a smile on my face, I'm going to pull my shoulders back, and I'm going to project positive energy and be kind to people as I see them. And you know what? That pulls in positive people. That pulls in kindness. That pulls in the things that you need too. So sometimes, you know, you hear that old statement about, well, I need to fake it until I make it. That's true. You know, a lot of times we just have to think of ourselves in a different way, because we do give off energy. And you know, sometimes maybe you're in a good mood and you're fine, and somebody comes home or somebody comes into the office and they're all angry. What happens? You feel that energy, and it just puts a wet blanket on everybody. So always think of your energy, what you're projecting. Start really paying attention to what other people, what their energy is doing. When they walk into a room, do you feel good? Do you feel negative? Do you feel like, oh no, here we go again? And so as we start really paying attention to the energy that other people are giving off, we see, oh, okay, now I realize when I walk in the door to this room, I need to maybe go in the bathroom, yell a little bit, something like that, get it out, but then present myself in a positive manner where I'm connected, where I'm really engaged in our conversation. And so probably the most important thing I can say today is watch your energy and watch what other people's energy is. because it can totally turn something negative into something positive or vice versa. So think about that. I've really been very in tune to that, in the last couple of years, and it really does make a big difference in what's going on when you do that. There's a scripture that says, "He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm." And so there again, it's always making sure that the people you're hanging out with are ones that will be positive and build you up. Sometimes when the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, for instance, this caterpillar is completely broken down into a big ugly mess of goo. Once you see that caterpillar, it breaks down, so it's just goo. But inside the lining in that caterpillar is actually the wings, the feelers, everything. And so this caterpillar is going through that, and it's like, oh my God, my life is over. I'm just destroyed. But no, during that process, it's actually turning into a beautiful, strong butterfly with strong wings. And so sometimes we just have to think of that too, that, we may be going through a process, but we're stronger, we're better for it. And, a lot of the things that I've gone through, I now use those to help other people because I want to help them get beyond that. And we can all do that. We can all use the tough times to show people how we moved forward and went through it to the other side. And you'll feel so good, when you do that. You really will. And so always think of that, avoiding things that are familiar and going for the good, if it's something you need to. So replacing thoughts is really, really important. And especially at first, it's going to be like a daily task to replace your thoughts and think about things that are going into a different direction. And I'd really recommend that. And so you could think of things like, I'm healthy, I'm strong, even if you're not at the moment. I enjoy riding to my new goal weight. I enjoy the adventure of working on a new career where I can make the money I want and provide for my family, where I can move to a different city, where I can get a new car. And so think of those things, not how you're going to do it, but just keep those in your mind. I enjoy being with lovable and positive people where we can mutually build each other up. And so that's the kind of people you want to hang with, the ones that can mutually build each other up. I'm capable of going back to school, earning my degree. I mean, I've seen, stories of people like, 100 years old getting their college degree. There was a 102-year-old lady that did a dive out of a plane. I think one lady was, 92, and she climbed one of the tallest mountains in the world. And a gentleman who was able to get his diploma from World War II when he was in a Japanese internment camp, and about 20 years ago he got it, and he was 72. But he never let go of that dream, and he was able to walk across the stage with the graduates that year in Newport Beach, California. So it's never too late for the things that you want to do in life. And so, visualize your new behaviors. And I'd say sometimes when you're tired, maybe a little, not in a real good mood, sit down and close your eyes. And then start visualizing, literally visualize it. Use your 5 senses. We see, we touch, we hear, things like that we can speak. And so think about that. See yourself with the new partner that you want, with the new career that you want. I mean, literally, think about this. Close your eyes and think about it. Thriving in a new city. Maybe several clothing sizes smaller, or things like that. Whatever your heart's desire is, I'd really recommend you sit there and start visualizing it, exactly what it looks like. If you want to be a baker, think about how great it smells. They have cinnamon rolls in there. I mean, really, if you want to be a coach, think about kids cheering, parents cheering, and the phenomenal impact you can have on their lives for good, being a good coach. And so literally think about that, whatever your heart's desire is. And then hear encouraging words. Think of encouraging words that people could say to you. Hey, wow, that was a great job. You really did a lot of research on it, and this was just a wonderful presentation. Just think about those. Think about peers or audience clapping in front of you and an audience, or children, people saying how much they love you, even though maybe you're feeling a little bit lonely right there. Close your eyes and literally visualize these every day. Do it when you go to bed at night and before you go to sleep. And, hear those things. Maybe imagine If you're lonely, for instance, and right now a lot of people can't touch each other, but you know, think about that wonderful hug that you're going to get. There's been several times I've had asked God, literally, could I feel you giving me a hug because I'm so lonely, I'm hurting so much, and I did. And so, you know, you can even do that. Pat on the shoulder, things like that. But think about those things that are so important to you, and use your sense of sight, your sense of hearing, your sense of taste, smell. Maybe just being in a rose garden would be very comforting and soothing. Think about that. How does that smell? And so always use your imagination, use your mind to think about the things that would be so beneficial for you. And picture yourself working out, smiling, communicating, shaking hands, being very positive in your networking skills. Think about that and push the other stuff out of the way. It really, really, really does work. Not as fast as we want, but it really does work. So transition periods are opportunities. If people, you know, a lot of people have lost their jobs. Well, this is a time of transition. Learn new skills, build yourself up, and then trusting God that He will provide the best job possible for you. But these are times to really stop and think and prepare for what's ahead for you. And so thoughtfully considered, what do I wish to change? Is it relationships? Is it health, finances, career? Write them down in a journal. What do I wish to change? What do I need to change? What will it take to transform my life? Different friends, letting go of something or someone, staying off TV and getting online and learning new skills. Who or where can I turn to for support? We all need support. We all need somebody. And whether it's a pastor, somebody at church, whether it's a coworker that's been a real pal, whether it's a counselor at school, whatever the case may be, ask for support. We all need to be there to support each other. And that means also you can offer support to someone else as well and see how good that feels. So when you see someone in need, whether it's helping with a class, helping them with some work because someone's sick and they have to take care of things, offer to help. When you do, you feel better. It builds you up. It builds relationships up, and you'll never feel the same, honestly. So think, what's preventing me from stepping into my new life? Is it perceived? Is it real? Sometimes if we're doing caregiving for someone, we may not be able to do what we really want to do right then, but maybe we can barter. You know, have somebody else come in and care for your loved one while you maybe help them do, you know, bookkeeping or baking or cooking or something like that. There's so many things we can barter when we don't really have the money, but we can help each other. And that is so important. And we all know people that we can, you know, barter with back and forth. So think about those things, and always what you're speaking on, and that is really critical. So what is the most important area that I would like to change is my perception that I'm giving to other people. So start thinking about, you know, perception is reality actually, because what we perceive to be true, and it may not be, but if we see it that way, then that's what we believe is the truth. So always think of what is my perception that I'm giving to other people. And you know, you want to change those things. I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm very caring, I love people, I'm here to help, things like that. What perception do we give off? So if we're down and out and we're feeling kind of grumpy and we feel inferior, we feel unworthy, okay, those are the things that maybe those people are perceiving that we are. And so people treat us the way we treat ourselves. And so think about those perceptions and then how you want to change those differently. And so if you don't like the hand you've been dealt in the game of life, it's time to create a new one. And we all have the opportunities and the abilities to do that. So how you choose to view your circumstances will determine how you get to the finish line. So view them now as an opportunity to grow, to learn. When fear hits us, the best thing to do is do it afraid. I've heard that over and over again, but that is so true, to really do it afraid. Seek out positive, ambitious people, you know, offer to help other people. We have holidays coming up. What can we do for someone else? If we're feeling down, we're feeling lonely, what can we do for someone else? You know, think about that. And that will give you joy in your heart. That will make you feel so much better to be able to provide that. And you are responsible for your own legacy. No one else is. And so people can help us, but they can't be our legacy. They can't be this confident professional person. We work on that ourselves, and we pray about that. So change what you need to, think only on the positive, watch your energy level, and give, and as you give, it will come back to you in abundance. And so if there's anything I can help you with, you can just contact me at rita@soaringhigher.rocks, and I just love to talk with you. And I do have a blog on that website full of information for career and personal life. So I wish you all the best. See you later. Thank you.